Welcome. Come in, come in. So that was incredibly interesting, and I think, and I hope, that for a lot of you here, it has opened up that doorway into just what blockchain could potentially impact and what kind of changes we could be looking at. Of course, moving from things that are very technical, very theoretical, into practical applications of this technology and of Web3. So I'm going to do a show and tell, because I think a lot of what we're seeing is about talking. I'm going to show you what we've been doing, and specifically focusing on these bounties for social impact. Now, bounties are simply tasks that are set up by individuals or organizations, and because we are in the blockchain space, they have a crypto reward attached to them. Very simple format. Again, as Santi touched on, it doesn't need to be overly complicated for it to be efficient. And so what we've been doing with bounties, which is essentially crypto incentives, is we've started looking at how these incentives could potentially generate and ignite action, and to that effect, positive action in terms of social impact and environmental impact. And what I would like to do is show you a documentary about a pilot that we ran in the Philippines last year in December across 2 days, where we onboarded the people participating in the cleanup onto Web3 wallets, which is what you need in order to access the Web3 applications, one of which Bounties Network is, and paid people with ETH, and also gave them the option of obviously exchanging that ETH into Filipino peso, so we didn't just turn up, gave them magic internet money, and then left, because that would be wrong. So I'm going to play this. Hopefully the sound will be okay. I know that we had a little bit of noise coming from the other stages, but without further ado, hopefully this works.
Today, the DENR conducted an inspection on alleged establishments throwing garbage and disposing their wastewater into Manila Bay.
Disposable plastic used just once are one of the leading causes of pollution.
An area that was once thriving with marine life is now choked by discharge from an overcrowded city.
The trash issue really is impacting people's lives.
Pupunta dito ang tao para mangingisda. Pag-uwi, wala rin naman makuha dahil lahat ng basura napupunta sa dagat.
It also made the country the third biggest polluter of oceans. China and Indonesia rank first and second.
Many people complain that their salaries are not increasing, their benefits been cut off. It's already been hard for a lot of people, and it's getting a lot harder day by day.
Riverbanks are lined with shanty houses. Of course, they're not connected to the sewer system, and they don't have septic tanks. The effluent and rubbish simply goes straight into the river.
I'm Ronald Dapines. I'm 50 years old. It's my work to gather the trash from the ocean, and then we convert to some very presentable materials. Pwede natin magamit sa mga bagay.
So we're getting ready to pilot our ocean cleanup program. The one thing I knew was always essential for us going into this was finding people on the ground who were already impacting the environment within those communities. That's the reason I think that Ronald is going to play such a huge role in this, because he's already innovating on recycling methods, on the ground.
I'm from province of Iloilo, from Visayas. My life in province is my father selling fish and my mother is a housewife. Our work there is farming. Una nakarating ako rito since 1991. Naghahanap ako ng trabaho dahil undergrad ako, hindi ako nakatapos ng marine. So pumunta ako ng Manila. Tapos naghanap ako ng trabaho as a construction boy. As a construction worker, hirap na hirap ako ng trabaho after ng ilang months, no work, no salary. Pumunta ako dyan nakarating ako dyan sa may recycling na yan dahil sa isang problema. Through the helps of other colleagues, mga kasama ko sa trabaho, napag-isipan namin, doon nga sa kwento-kwentuhan lang, pakapi-kape, nakikita kasi namin dahil sa likod lang namin yung basura, kami rin ang nakakaamoy ng very bad smell. Ano kaya ang maganda nating gawin para sa basura na ito? Ano kaya ang dapat natin gawin para ma-resolve na rin ang problema na to?
We just spent a day cleaning up the beach for plastic and a bunch of other stuff that we did not expect to find in the ocean.
This area has such amazing beauty. It was exciting to see people really keen to participate in its regeneration. Bounties network is pretty much a very simple tool on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a task that you create, somebody fulfills it, and a reward is delivered to the fulfiller. The idea was to re-engineer the way social impact works, whereby we incentivize individuals and reward them for their positive action, for their positive social impact, or in this case, environmental impact.
So the way it works is that you post a new bounty and start sharing it with people from all around the world, people who actually believe in the cause behind the bounty. Once you have money in the pot, you can actually start sharing that with people who can actually do the actions. Once they've completed whatever task you've asked for, they submit a proof of that. For example, for us, it was taking a picture of yourself with the trash. And the people who put up the bounty, us the organizers, can immediately see that, yes, their proof is valid and immediately accept it. And when we do that, the money goes directly to their wallet on their mobile phones. So these people on the ground don't have to worry about us having the money or having to have their identities verified. They can immediately take that cryptocurrency and connect it with a local exchange to be able to pay their bills.
Okay, as soon as I get a notification, I'm gonna accept that and it will send money into your account.
I would say yes, I'm willing to participate with my volunteers. I say to my volunteers who participate, I say I need 25 person, but the sign almost 36 person.
I'm pretty excited by how, willing the participants were to get onboarded, and learn about cryptocurrency. It was kind of inspiring seeing how much their eyes kind of lit up when they had that realization that, this technology has such a big impact.
It is something that is evolving and it is something that is getting easier and it is something that will empower people here to not only improve the health of their environment, like we've seen here at La Papache, but also improve how they earn money, how they can sustain their communities.
Sa trabaho namin, sa marine engineer, hindi ko naman linya yun sa ng recycling. But sa ng trabaho namin, kailangan namin i-resolve yung isang problema na dapat kailangan i-resolve ng paraan kung ano ang magandang gawin sa basura. Kayo, parang kukuha kayo ng basura tapos naipilian ninyo. So separate ninyo yung ito yung mga napili naming basura, yung mga plastic na pangbenta, doon namin nilalagay. So tapos itong mga nabubulok is diyan naman sa kabilang side for composting, shredding, composting. And then yung ibang materials, yung like residual waste, doon na sa melting area namin. So ayan, tinutunaw na lang natin yung yung basura pero hindi naman siya na ibig sabihin na sinusunog natin. Hindi, minimelt lang siya natin. And then the carbon emission goes up there. Doon sa carbon emission natin, meron tayong pagkukontrol din doon sa usok. So meron tayong ginawang mist na nag-i-spray sa usok para yung carbon bababa. Hindi siya aakyat ng paitaas. So ito na yung finished product from residual waste. Meron tayong fence panel, traffic cones, and then the garden tiles. And then ito ay yung tinatawag kong yung cold mix na product. Ito yung gawa sa semento and then chop o shred residual waste plastic. Dito nagagamit na namin lahat yung mga product namin kagaya ng paso. And then yung ibang is yung panel. Ito na ginagawa naming boardwalk. Namin to dahil nung una kaming gumawa ng tulay rito, ang ginamit naming material is yung bamboo at saka yung kahoy, wood. Pero hindi siya tumagal dahil nabubulok. Ito siguro naka 3 years na-install na namin. Siguro tatagal tong na to. Saka hindi natin malaman na yun pala ang inaapakan natin is basura.
The cool thing about paying people with bounties is that we can leave, but the bounty will still be there. And so people can continue to contribute to it, and likewise, people can continue to fulfill that bounty by picking up trash on a daily basis. So this can become a new source of income for people, such that they don't have to worry about the fish populations, but they can actually start cleaning up their local communities.
It's very important to understand how impactful financial incentives can be in a market in an environment like Philippines. Most people here don't have any form of savings. They really, live day to day. So if you're able to offer somebody an incentive, it's going to translate, immediately. So incentives are behavior changing. If you're able to channel that, you're going to be able to mobilize a lot of people.
What happens when a traditional job like fishing stops being sustainable? You need to create new means of income. You need to create and infuse new life into those communities by giving them alternatives. And so the beauty with the bounties-based model is that you essentially can create this task that can be contributed to from all over the world, and the payout goes directly to the people performing those tasks. So we don't have the usual, a certain percentage went to marketing, a certain percentage went to bonuses for execs. You have the full pot of the bounty going directly to the individuals performing the work. And so that not only mobilizes funds on a global level, but it mobilizes and it enables and it empowers work at an individual and community level.
We saw that monetary incentives were a great way to get people on the ground, but now that they're here, they actually can look past those incentives and really feel the intrinsic motivation.
Doon sa case ng ako masaya diyan sa aking trabaho, masaya ako. Hindi mo magagawa yung isang bagay sa iyong trabaho kung hindi ka dedicated doon sa isang trabaho na yan o hindi mo siya gusto. May babahagi ko sa mga kabataan, yung mga nagawa namin. May kasasaya. Itong ginagawa namin is hindi para sa amin, kundi para sa next future or generation. Not for me, for the future.
That's a high step. So that was, you heard it all. You saw a lot of what we did. And the reason, and I just want to point out a couple of the key points, is that we crowdsourced the funds for that bounty from just open it up to people. So we put some money in as a project, but not that much. Other projects from the Ethereum ecosystem contributed to the bounty, and then individuals contributed to the bounty. There were people donating $5 worth of ETH, $10 worth of ETH. And again, the beauty of it is they donated to the bounty. The money sits in the smart contract. You will have heard this term. It's the code that ensures that the task is fulfilled, the reward now, in terms of dispersing funds on a global level and what that can do. So a lot of the people, we literally had this landing page, and you saw that Ronald, who has the recycling facility, who we knew that we had to get on board because he could help us dispose of the garbage rather than, hey, we clean it up, and then 5 minutes later is back on the beach. This is, so he brought 36 volunteers, and then in total, we had 224 people turn up, because they shared it with their communities, and we had people who were traveling through the Philippines on their way to Asia to basically come and help us and join in. So, and here we had sign up to join us or donate, and that's how we crowdsourced a lot of the funds. And so the main points are you re-engineer the flow of money, you have an automated dispersal mechanism that now can be employed with minimal uplift, which is a huge problem, especially in terms of administrative costs and this idea of what do you do once you potentially leave that location. We were only there for 2 days, and on each day we cleaned about 2.5 hours because it got too hot. We didn't want people out in the blazing sun, because I'm sure you saw there wasn't that much vegetation around there, just mainly garbage. And so the idea with that is the bounty is still there. The bounty is still accumulating funds, and we have people who turned up on the day. In fact, there's about 10 of them who are still fulfilling the bounty, going out there mainly every other day, once a week, cleaning up, taking it to Ronald's facility and getting it recycled and earning a living. And we are now in June, so we set that up in December. These are some of the stats. Again, 5 hours worth of cleanup across 2 days. We cleaned up 3.3 tons of trash. This on a bigger scale with more funds deployed towards it. And again, this can come from NGOs, this can come from corporates with their CSR budget, or this can literally come from anyone wanting to set this up. On World Environment Day, we also set a bounty up to plant a tree. We incentivize people with 20 DAI. I'm sure, or if you don't know, DAI is a stable coin that basically has the value of 1 DAI is always $1. And we set that up. We had 3 submissions within the first 5 hours. And they were from people, somebody in India, somebody in the States, I think somebody in Romania. This is the power of something that is global, yet incredibly simple, incredibly simple. And so the trifecta, I think, the core 3 things that this does for me is it enables access to information, resource, and a global pool of work that potentially was not there before. And also it redefines how we work and what we give our time and our skills to. Imagine having something that notifies you that there is a cleanup. You're in Thailand, for instance, and there's a cleanup near you. Because you are passionate about the environment and because you want to contribute, you could turn up and help out. And the reward that you get, you could pass it forward to another bounty for another cleanup, or for educating children in the community, or for translating blockchain material, and so on. The possibilities are incredibly vast. These are some of the wonderful people that joined us on the day, and I think, again, the key here is not only that some of them are still fulfilling that bounty, but some of them are now getting involved in other bounties because of their skills. There's a music bounty, there's an art bounty that some of these guys participated in because they're like, why not? Now I know the mechanism. Why shouldn't I be a 360 individual with all of my passions, my talents, my interests, and be able to tap into a new means of income based on that? So again, this is potentially something that ushers that. So this is a quote by Vitalik Buterin. It's not mine. Change the incentives, change the world. No, they are not the answer to everything, but they can be the start of something. They can be the start of potentially very, very broad re-engineering trajectories for new means of income, for how we disperse funds, for how we get more people involved and potentially earlier, educate them, and so on. So I hope that was insightful. I don't know where we're doing questions or anything, but I'm on Twitter. I'm at sim_pop. Ask me anything. Ask me all of the questions. And thank you so much.